Imagine lining up for departure at night, advancing the thrust levers, feeling the aircraft surge forward, only to realize you're not on a runway at all. That's exactly the heart-stopping situation that unfolded on February 5th, involving a Scandinavian Airlines Airbus A320neo. According to reports, the aircraft, registered as Serum, was scheduled to operate flight SK2590 from Brussels to Copenhagen with 165 people on board. Everything appeared routine as the jet taxied out in Brussels, Belgium. The crew had been cleared for takeoff from runway 07R. But instead of positioning on the assigned runway, the aircraft mistakenly lined up on a parallel taxiway, Echo 1, before the actual runway threshold. At approximately 22:03 local time, the A320neo began accelerating for departure, not on the runway, but along taxiway Echo 1, continuing on to Echo 1, Foxtrot 2, Victor 1. For several critical seconds, the jet gathered speed on pavement never meant for takeoff. Then came the realization. The pilots rejected the takeoff at high speed, reportedly around 100 knots ground speed. A high-speed rejected takeoff is one of the most demanding maneuvers in commercial aviation. Heavy braking, maximum deceleration, split-second decisions, and very little room for error. The aircraft finally came to a stop near the intersection of Victor 1 and Charlie 1, just before the taxiway narrowed further and before the pavement ran out entirely. Reports later confirmed the jet stopped just short of airport fuel storage tanks. The margin for error was razor-thin. Thankfully, no one was injured. Passengers were instructed to disembark directly onto the taxiway and were transported by bus back to the terminal. The flight was canceled, which is common after a high-speed rejected takeoff due to the extreme thermal stress placed on brakes and tires. Aircraft inspections and mandatory cooling periods are required, and crew duty limits can also come into play. Before we continue into what might have caused this and what happened next, take a moment. If you appreciate detailed aviation breakdowns like this, make sure you like the video and subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive. Because what happened after the stop is just as important. Let's continue. With the aircraft safely stopped and passengers returned to the terminal, attention quickly shifted to what went wrong and how close this event truly was to becoming something far more serious. Brussels Airport later confirmed the aircraft halted just short of the airport's fuel tank storage area. That detail alone underscores how critical the timing of the rejected takeoff was. Had the crew delayed the decision by even a few more seconds, the outcome could have looked very different. Authorities opened an investigation to determine how a clear departure from runway 07 resulted in a lineup on taxiway Echo 1 instead. Taxiway misidentification events are rare but not unheard of, particularly during nighttime operations where lighting patterns, visual cues, and airport geometry can create confusion. Factors such as fatigue, workload, expectation bias, and situational awareness will almost certainly be examined closely. The aircraft remained on the ground throughout February 6 for inspections and checks following the high-energy stop. After maintenance crews ensured everything was within limits, the jet returned to service on February 7th, operating flight SK9240 from Brussels to Copenhagen. Since then, it has continued flying multiple daily sectors without further issue. For those curious, the aircraft has been part of the SAS Scandinavian Airlines fleet since November 2018 and carries Airbus manufacturer serial number 8494. While the jet's history isn't linked to the incident itself, it's a reminder that even modern aircraft with experienced crews can face moments where small deviations escalate rapidly. In aviation, layers of safety exist for this exact reason. Clearances, cross-checks, runway verification procedures, and reject criteria are all designed to catch mistakes before they become catastrophes. In this case, the final safety net, the high-speed rejected takeoff, worked exactly as it should, but it raises an important question. Was this primarily a breakdown in situational awareness? Could fatigue have played a role? Or was it simply a momentary alignment error that escalated under pressure? I want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and join the discussion. If you value in-depth aviation analysis like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss the next investigation. And remember, sometimes in aviation, the difference between routine and disaster comes down to just a few seconds.